Welcome to this week's little episode of 5 Haunting Questions. And as you can see from my intro, the guest this week is Matt Benton from Devil's Hour Productions. Hey, Matt.
Hello there. Nice to see you again, Karen.
Nice to see
good
you
morning
again too.
In America and good afternoon in Australia.
So, Matt, where did, well, first tell us something a little bit about your channel. Maybe explain your channel first to everybody and what you do, and then I'll get to my other question.
So I've been a YouTuber for a very long time, since 2007. And the thing is, like, at first it didn't start out with paranormal and all that. And it wasn't until like this summer of 2011, I had this personal experience at the old Washoe Club in Virginia City, Nevada, where I had a piece of brick thrown at me, which was very interesting. Right after I asked a very specific question of an object getting moved or something moving. And bam, brick thrown. And so I was like, I am hooked. This is cool. This is really cool. Okay, so at that day, I was like, okay, I want to do this for a living now. I was already interested in the paranormal, but I didn't decide to become an investigator until that day, during the summer of 2011. Then I created a channel called Paranormal Extreme Crew. Very cringe. I just got some friends together. They were in it for the thrill. I was in it because I was really trying to learn and figure this out, why this stuff happens. And then I found Soul Seekers, which is, they won like the paranormal challenge on Zach Bagan's show called Paranormal Challenge. And then and so I was like, I learned that he was in Temecula, and that's where I was at the time, Temecula, California. And so I got in contact with him, and we met up and we started investigating together. So we investigated together for like 2 years. And then I had those small differences. I wanted to run my own team. And so then I created the Paranormal Research Unit, which is technically this channel I have right now. So I didn't go back to Paranormal Extreme Crew because there's too much cringe on that one. So I created a new one again. And then this channel, it was called the Paranormal Research Unit. And then I started branching off, doing a whole bunch of other things when it comes to production stuff. So I was like, you know what? I want to create my own production company because I started getting a lot better in filmmaking, editing. I just had a passion for it. So I was like, I want to create this channel into a production company so I could do a whole bunch of different projects, not just paranormal. It is all paranormal, but it's not just paranormal research units, you know what I mean? So it's other projects involved. And so now it's a production name, the Devil's Hour Productions. And I made that name because it had a paranormal related theme to it and also a dark theme to it. And that's how I like my editing style, is a darker theme. Yep. And so I thought it fit well. And so Devil's Hour Productions. Yeah.
There you go. When you first started there with your little one, with the first channel, how old were you then?
I was 16 years old when I started investigating the paranormal, and I'm 28 today. So just
16. So was there anything before you started investigating, like you had that interest, but was there any sort of event when you were younger that led you to have that interest in the paranormal? Like, had anything happened to you before the Washoe Club? Yep.
Yes. So I was already interested in the paranormal because I had a lot of experiences as a child. I used to see shadow people. I used to see hear things, weird things. I used to see the shadow people a lot, though. It was the main thing that started everything for me. Actually, I even got a tattoo of the reasons why I became an investigator, because it's been such an impact in my life. So I got a tattoo on my right arm. I can show it if you want. It's taking off the jacket. And so basically, it's like the old Washoe Club sign, the exact same font.
Oh, so that's what the shadow person was in reference to.
Yeah, and that's what the shadow person referenced, because that's what grabbed my interest in the paranormal. And so I used to see him all the time as a child, and then I got older and older, and I started seeing him less and less. But definitely, that's what started. Even if it was my figment of imagination, it still brought me to where I am today. So, because most of the shadow people were like in the corner of my eyes and stuff, and then some of them I got to see head on, but it was a lot more rare for that. Yeah, so it was definitely interesting in my childhood, and so, yeah.
And did you, when that was happening to you as a little one, did you go to mum and say, "Hey, mum, I'm seeing things," or did you keep it to yourself?
One time, I only did it one time, and then I kept it for myself for most of it. So it was when we were walking to Sam's Club. I was like, "Mom, I don't know how I worded it because I was young. I don't remember really, but I just basically told her that I was seeing like shadow things on the corner of my eyes all the time. I didn't know what that meant, and so." And at the time, even though my mom believes in that stuff, I think at the time she told me like, "Oh, it's probably just your brain developing or whatever." It's like I don't know, just maybe just to not get me scared or something like that. She believes in it because she grew up in a haunted house, and I was actually fascinated by her stories from her haunted house experience because she lived in Indiana at the time too. At this time, I was in California. Most of my life, I grew up in California, but she was telling about the house she grew up in and her paranormal experiences, and so that was also kind of got me interested. And here's the thing: you want to hear something strange?
Yes, please.
You know, I don't know if destiny is real and everything, but it's very strange that ever since I was a kid, I've been fascinated by filmmaking, and my favorite subjects in school were science and history. And so it's like, and then all these paranormal experiences as a child. It's like, then everything, I wasn't thinking about becoming a paranormal investigator. It wasn't until that one experience, but everything in my life was leading up to what I'm doing now. All my passions I was having before I was a paranormal investigator was literally leading up to now. I was always watching the making of all movies, like because I was so fascinated by it, like watching, what DVDs back then when they had like the making stuff. They still have them, but
they'd say like in the
everything's
background,
streaming
like
now. Yeah,
behind the
yeah.
scenes.
So so I always watched the behind the scenes because I was so fascinated by it, and then so. I got really interested in that, and then I went to advanced visual media arts in high school. I went straight to advanced though because I was actually got pretty decent editing because I was doing YouTube since 2007, and so I went straight to advanced visual media arts in high school, and I got 110% in that class. I got extra credit points to get that extra 10%. So I was like excelling in that. I was like, that's what and then I went to college for a little bit too. For filmmaking, just for a year though, because I didn't want to keep paying that kind of money. So that it's just weird. It's like it kind of like led up to this now, and now it's awesome. Yeah, I love it.
And
I love what I
do. I do have another question that's not usually part of my questions, but I'm asking because I know your little desire with dolls, with haunted dolls. Where did that
Okay, it's not
fascination
dolls. It's not particularly dolls. It's just I like haunted objects and creepy things. That's it. It has nothing to do with the dolls itself. It has to do with creepy things. I like dark, weird things, and also I like anything that could be haunted. I would like that because I'm one of those investigators that doesn't mind things following me home if they can, because I actually want the activity to follow me home, because then I get just more to film and more to record for myself. That's how desensitized I am from the paranormal, because it doesn't scare me at all anymore. So now I just want it to happen to me at home. So it's like I'm like more content for my channel. Hell yeah! The issue is the less and less I'm afraid, the least activity I get is what I started to notice, and so that's why.
Do you think there's a connection sometimes between that apprehension that you have, or normally have, going into a so-called haunted place? You sort of, that energy is there, so that might be more attractive to whatever's trying to communicate.
Here's what I would like to say. I believe that psychology has a bigger play in the paranormal than most people think. And let's just say I have a documentary idea that will go in depth with that. Not this next one, but the third one is.
Yes.
I have
Yep.
a documentary idea. So stay tuned. Devil's
No.
Hour Productions YouTube channel.
Well, that's right. Stay tuned. Watch this space. And actually, that thought that you have, or that idea, is very much a shared one, because I myself, although I've got no experience, not like you, I do think that sometimes psychologically people can manifest things that possibly they're not there, and it's all like connected. So you could tell somebody something, like when we go into these haunted places and we're told stories about the place.
Mm-hmm.
You go in there with a preconception of what might be there, which sometimes, if you're all hyped up and you really want it to happen, you think it's happening, or you're making more out of what's really there, and it's not that at all. So there's I know you're going in a much more precise, different to what I'm saying, but it is true that I think sometimes people can manifest something and make it something that it's really not. Like, the imagination is very, very a strong tool.
I think that there's power in belief. So things can manifest. There's actually been a study. I'll go into this probably in the documentary too. There's been studies by the U.S. government with similar things. So I don't want to go into it here. It'll be explained. It's more about these monks.
No,
that
you
they
do
studied.
that in your documentary.
Yeah, it's about,
but
it's about these monks that they were. Okay, well, yeah, I'll just go into it there.
No. It's fascinating, because the mind is a powerful tool, and all these things where people say, you'll hear people say, imagine it to be real, and it will manifest, and it will be real, and you sort of think,
power of belief.
Power of belief. So it depends how much imagine that you're already where you want to be, and stuff like that. So there's lots of stuff, and people, some of it's hogwash, some of it's kind of like, oh God, you're trying to make $1, and then a lot of it though can be true. Like, it's power of the mind. So it's amazing how that can interconnect with what you do in regard to looking for paranormal evidence. And, even when you listen to somebody who says, oh, I've caught such and such, and I've seen this and I've seen that, and they get very excited about things, but it's really not. Mm-hmm. It's not. I think they're excited, so they've made it a little bit more than what it is. With you, apart from the piece of brick getting thrown at the Washoe, and apart from what we've seen in your documentary, which we will discuss shortly, the Harrisville haunting, what has happened to you that maybe you never caught on film? A personal, like you've been somewhere investigating, something's actually happened and you just didn't get it.
So I have a few of those experiences, because now I try and avoid that at all costs, where I'm trying to record it as much as possible when I'm in the location. But when it comes to things I've missed, one amazing one that was like the clearest footsteps I've ever heard in my life in the paranormal, and it was at the old Washoe Club. I was with Dante. I was a part of Soul Seekers at the time. We were getting our gear set up and everything, just about to do our investigation. We had the entire old Washoe Club to ourselves at this point. And all of a sudden we hear clear as hell boots above us, like footsteps. It was the clearest footsteps I ever heard in my life. It was extremely loud. I was like, okay, we think someone broke in. So we go straight up there right away. Dante's a security guard, so he kind of like acted like one just in this situation, just to get him out. And sure enough, he was like yelling for the guy that they're trespassing, you're not allowed to be here and stuff like that. And when he got out, when we went through the rest of the building, we didn't see anyone. There was no one there. So I was like, okay, that was cool. And it wasn't caught on camera because we weren't ready at the time. But I wish it was, because it's the clearest footsteps I've ever heard. And we went straight up there. So it's not like, I don't think they would have got out. There's only one way out.
No, you would have passed them anyway. You would have passed them on the stairs. There's no other way out. That's the thing with the Washoe Club. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. What about mists and things like that? Have you ever seen anything, like the
I've
wispy
seen
things?
mists in,
Yep.
once or twice. I've seen a mist formation. It's not very common though for me. I have seen like apparitions, and
Mhm.
those I have never captured a full body apparition before, and it's one of the things I really want. It's on my bucket list. I've been doing this for 12 years and still have not captured a full body apparition. So it just goes to show you how rare this stuff is and how hard it is to capture.
Well,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I've possibly captured a partial apparition, but I'm not even 100% if it's even an apparition. It could. I don't. I think it could be something just because I tried to debunk it myself to where I should have put this in the Soul
Mhm.
Seeker video, but this is before I was better at editing and debunking at the time. So basically, I like if you put your finger right next to the lens or something, it doesn't get like blurry. It gets very white, like your skin color, my skin color. It's like it brightens up with the IR light.
Ah.
So I tried to do it because it's in my Mackie Mansion episode. And then you just,
Mm,
but in the video, you see something very blurry in the corner and then shoots off to the left.
and it's
And
your
so,
finger, or is
no,
it?
I'm saying it wasn't
Oh, it
because
wasn't.
because I tried to recreate it and
And
it's
you can.
literally brightening up. The IR light is brightening my finger up to where it looks like it's just too overexposed is the word I'm looking for. It's the fingers overexposed, bright as hell. So it's not that. It had it be something else because it was blurry. It wasn't overexposed at all. It was very weird. I still can't explain it. Maybe there's a possible explanation for it, but that's the only thing I've captured that I could say is possible apparition,
Questionable.
but it's
And
not a
where was
full
that
body
again?
apparition.
Was that at the Washoe Club again?
No, that was at Mackie Mansion in
Oh,
Virginia
Mackie
City, Nevada.
Mansion.
Yeah,
What
and it's
room?
in my episode.
What
Hmm?
room, by the way? What room was that in?
It was going down the stairs when I was going down the stairs
Oh, okay.
on the first floor. We were on
Yep.
the second floor where I was actually no, I was by myself at this point. So I was going downstairs and I saw something in the corner of my eye. Uh, but I thought it was just that, maybe my imagination. But my camera caught whatever I saw, and
Mm.
so um, yeah. So you guys watch it. It's on my channel right now. It was back when I was a part of Soul Seekers. Yes, the editing isn't as good. I know. Back in
No.
the day, that you get better over time. But let's
Oh,
start
and
from center.
just another question. Dante is the very big, muscly man, isn't he? The one in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
little, yes, yeah.
yeah.
I'll
So
I'll
he's now a
pop a
part of my team
picture.
now. He's
Oh,
part of my
he
team
is.
now too. Yes,
Oh, good.
he's.
All right, I'll pop
He,
a picture up of him so people know who we're talking about. But yes, I'd feel quite safe anywhere with Dante as well. He's yeah.
yeah,
Um.
he's a big guy.
So going forward for Devil's Hour,
Mhm.
uh, have you do working on a documentary soon, aren't you? You're starting a new one, not the one that we were talking
Yes,
about before, but you are going to
yes,
start another one soon, and Dante will be part of that.
yeah. He says he's taken off the days already for this investigation.
Mm-hmm.
But getting more word later. But yeah, so I have another documentary that we're filming very soon. Already have the cast, already have the location booked, and let's just say I've collected footage from this location for years. So it's not my first time being there. It's not Joe's
Mm-hmm.
first time being here. We've collected footage for years, and I've been saving it for years.
Terrific. So you'll do like
So
a, yep.
it's a collection of footage I've been collecting for a
Mm-hmm.
while,
Mm-hmm.
and the evidence that's been captured, the things that we captured, is very weird, very creepy. It's a very dark location. Um, it's a collaboration of Paranormal Research Unit um, and also Interface Death and Dig Paranormal. Three
Okay.
teams of collection of evidence on this location. And so those three teams will be presenting this. I'll be presenting the evidence that was captured by all these individuals. And so you'll be seeing it's pretty dang cool. And then we're doing one big last investigation there just to wrap it up with a
Cool.
good team. So it's going to be an interesting documentary. I can't wait for everyone to see it. There's things I'm not saying because I'm going to save it for when that trailer releases. You're going to
So
be like, oh,
wow.
it's like it's gonna feel like a horror film, but it's real life. It's actually one of my. Already made a 16:9 poster. I have 2 posters made already. One the normal one, and then a 16:9 version, which is the wide one that you can use for thumbnails and stuff. In that one, it says a true horror documentary because that's what it is. And so
no blood and guts though.
not in this one.
Oh, well, though, we still have to wait for your investigation.
Sacrifices. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Not do
that. So I ask everybody this question as well. Aliens, real or fake?
I definitely believe in them. I definitely believe in them. And also the government's finally coming out about it. The U.S. government, Chinese, Russia, they've been all coming about these UAP/UFO reports. And so, there's definitely stuff out there that we don't understand yet. And I believe the government, actually, if Dr. Stephen Greer is, I believe in this guy because he has a lot of people backing him up, people in the military that were in the military or are in the military that have had these experiences and have a lot more information. So if it's true, there's this basically this black organization, like Black Ops type thing that's not correlated to our government. It's kind of done illegally. So if that's true, there's a lot more information out there that we don't even know, that the government doesn't even know about. Our own government doesn't even know about, if it's true. So very interesting. That's actually there's a clause that was basically taking place in Congress where they are releasing you're allowed to, anyone that had an NDA to where they can't talk anything about it is now been released to where they can now legally, because this stuff is being done illegally, they are allowed to come forth now for anyone in the military when it comes to this specific topic. So they're not doing anything illegal now when it comes to them talking about this subject. So a lot of doors could be opening up now very soon. Probably the next couple of years, few years, we're probably going to get. Things are happening, and they've been warning this for a little while now, and so it's actually coming into fruition. So just be prepared because I feel like things will be announced in the next few years.
Yeah. Well, I know what you're talking about because they've said to everybody, well, that clause you signed where you can't say anything, it's gone now. So if you've got something to report
in the U.S. government,
because before you were under threat of losing your job, and being marked an idiot. Yeah,
a lot of bad things could happen. But so I can't wait until that happens. Everything gets released from other people, more official people that,
and then we know what's going on. Cool.
So people with credentials, so can't wait. I already knew this has been happening for a long time, since the 50s, and
for sure.
And I think personally, I believe it's because it's been a lot higher in activity because of the 50s when the nuclear bombs were created. So I think that's the reason why aliens are visiting a lot more, is because of that, and probably trying to prevent us from destroying our country, our entire world over nuclear bombs. So if something does happen, hopefully the aliens are on our side and
I hope so.
Those things.
I hope they come down.
I think they are, because they would have done something by now, I believe, if they weren't. So I really do think they're observing and studying us like what we would do with other animals.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I think it is. We're just like a big science project in a way, and also preventing us from doing stupid stuff like literally destroying the entire world.
Cool. All right, and I do try to ask everyone a really stupid question.
Okay.
So I'll pick a stupid question for you. Boxers or briefs?
I like boxer briefs personally.
There you go, girls. Oh, geez. Now, have you got anything? Black ones?
Yeah. I always wear black. That's my wardrobe.
And I do have an extra question for you, actually, before wind this up because for anyone who doesn't know, Matt is also a Marine. So he's serving his country. So my question to you in that regard is how do you find the time? How do you balance the fact that you're a Marine and you've got this passion and you're still in the Marines for another 2 years, I think, is it?
2
Another
years,
2?
10 months. 2 years, 10
Oh,
months.
okay. So nearly 3 years. So
Nearly.
how good are the Marines in letting you have time off, and how do you balance it all? Like, how do you
It's
get
hard.
this done? Yeah.
It's very hard because, especially in the infantry, so I don't have that much free time, but I might be changing things up after my deployment. I'll be talking about maybe going to a position. Maybe I'll have a little bit more free time. But we'll see. We'll see. I like some things about the infantry. Being at 03 is like there's kind of a pride towards that because it's a lot harder. It's it's one of the harder positions in the Marine Corps. So being a not a pogue, basically. Pogue means person other than grunt, and so so you have your infantry guys, your basically your special forces guys. We're right below that. So the special forces obviously are harder, but there's not much harder than infantry. Only special forces, basically. So it's we do the hard work.
Yeah. Well, you do. You literally. Well, I hope the day does not come when you have to actually put your life on the line. I hope I have heard soldiers talk and say, "Hey, but that's what we train for. We want the action." And I think, do you really? Okay. Talk about that
really do.
after. Yeah, some really do. Some really get really excited and want to go out there and see some action. But I hope as a mother, I hope you never see any action. I hope you just
see what
have
happens.
fun.
I don't know, and
just have fun with the guns on the range. That'll do.
Well, we're training for that day to happen, so if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, I know.
So,
everyone's training, but
and if I die, I'm sorry.
Well, I'll try and contact you if you do. Okay, we'll work out a signal. All right. So, anything we should talk about the Harrisville haunting because that's still relevant. So I know that you would
relevant.
Well,
it's still.
It's
actually,
you're still trying to
actually
get people to watch it. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it's actually kicking off right now. Like on Vudu right now, it's really kicking off because last time I checked, it had 600 like 37 or 38 reviews. That's just reviews. Wow. That's not even people that watched it. And then if you check the IMDb information, it's showing a huge increase of activity for the film. And I also noticed a whole lot more subscribers after this happened. Same with Joe. So Joe and I are getting a lot more subscribers because of this film, I believe. Cody, I mean, not Cody. Why did I say Cody? So we believe that that's the reason. Some people think it's the algorithm. I think that's what Joe was thinking. I'm not 100% about that now, just because I saw that huge spike on IMDb. I was like, okay, it's probably that. I wish it was the YouTube algorithm because that would help. But YouTube is never on my side, it seems like.
But you did get to 10,000K subscribers. So
yes,
and
10K.
if anyone's watching this, and you truly are interested in the paranormal, and go over to Matt's channel.
Real paranormal too.
Yeah, and subscribe. Yeah.
Here's the thing: like, it's hard to get that kind of following being 100% real. You know how many locations I filmed that didn't release it because I didn't really get anything? That's a lot. I don't even have that many episodes on my channel because not enough activity for me to release an episode. I'm only sitting on one episode right now. The rest of the places I filmed, it's not good enough, except for the one I'm doing for this documentary, except for that one. Like, there's not enough, so I don't even make an episode out of it. I have one I'm sitting on though, and I really I need to get to that, but the Marine Corps has been pretty busy, so
Keeping you
I'm in
busy.
the middle of a workup to deployment, so
Mm.
I'm doing a lot of things. After deployment, things will settle down a lot, and also I might move to a different position to where I can just have a little bit more time, but we'll
Yeah.
see. I I'm just doing my 4 years and I'm getting out because this is my true where I feel like I
This is
truly
your
belong.
passion. Yeah.
Yeah, this is where I
Mm.
belong. I've always just wanted to serve, so and do my time, and also I wanted to be in the hardest and best branch,
And you
the
got
Marine
in.
Corps.
It's not easy to get into the Marines, so
No,
you should pat yourself on the back for that one. Um, all right, so the Harrisville haunting. Tell everybody. Oh, well, give a brief rundown. Tell everybody that doesn't know why they should watch it and where they can find it.
yeah, you can watch it on Amazon Prime, Vudu, and also iTunes. Uh, it's on YouTube Movies, so basically you can buy it on YouTube right now. It's pretty much everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's at like 85% of all the streaming services, so it's a lot of places. Um, uh, Trying to think of some others. My brain's not working. Google Play.
That's huge though, and people you can just Google the name too, and all the platforms that you can watch it on come up as well.
Free places you can
But
watch it right now. There's two free places I
Mhm.
know of, which is Tubi and Vudu. Vudu is playing it with ads also. You can also buy it on Vudu to where you don't have to watch any ads, so you can rent it
Mhm.
for like I think $3.99 or something like that, and you could buy it too for $9.99. So if you don't want to watch it with ads, personally, that's how I would like to view it because I hate ads. So
Yeah.
you have that option on Vudu, and it's kicking off on Vudu. So if you keep purchasing on Vudu, I guess it'll keep kicking off. So thank you very much for the people watching on Vudu and any service actually. So
Mhm. Mhm.
DVDs are available too. It's available on Amazon, Prime. Sorry, not Prime. Amazon. It's also available on Walmart.com. It's available on BarnesandNoble.com, BestBuy.com, and eBay. You can buy the DVD at a lot of different places right now. So
That's very good and cool. So, and DVD,
yeah,
I know not many people have DVD players anymore, but that's really awesome to have it there in a like a little, you can put it on the
yes.
shelf as a decoration.
I also want to just
Afterwards.
make one other recommendation. If you're going to
Uh-huh.
watch it for free, watch it through Vudu because Tubi has it in a horrible quality. I
Oh,
personally do not like the quality it shows the film. It's very pixelated. It's like looks like it's 480p almost on
oh,
Tubi.
okay.
So it's pretty bad in my opinion when it comes to the quality. Uh, so if you want to watch it, watch Amazon Prime or Vudu and those places because it's a lot better quality there. So there, yeah.
Okay. All right. And for those of you who don't know what the Harrisville house is, um, it, it's a house. What state is it in?
So
What is it?
it's I could explain it. So basically,
Yeah,
it's in
you do
Rhode
it.
Island.
You're the expert.
It's in Rhode Island. It's in Harrisville, Rhode Island, and it's the exact same house from the first Conjuring film. So that's the location that we investigated, and we wanted to tell the true history of the location and get the experiences. The thing is, like, there's a lot of like things about Bathsheba Sherman that isn't true that's going around. We like actually just show the truth of the facts of what's going on there, and so we give you the proper history, our actual experiences there. So it's a very, if you're into documentary filmmaking and you're a paranormal fan, this is one of those documentaries because uh, I have an issue with, I hate reenactment stuff. I hate like
Mm,
pre-planned, like obviously like fake situations. I
with
hate that.
actors and
It's a
stuff. Yeah.
yes, yeah, it annoys me. This is a full-on documentary. The only thing planned is my voiceovers. That's the only thing that's scripted in the film is my voiceovers.
Mhm.
I write out my voiceovers, and then the B-roll shots. That's it.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
literally the only thing planned. So it's like as raw as you could get as a documentary,
Yeah.
and just edited in
And
an
I
entertainment
have
format.
watched it. Yeah, and I've watched it. I've watched it twice. And when you watch it the second time, you go, oh, I missed that the first time. But the thing that I found really good about it, the investigation's fine and good, but I love how you were able to get the original people who went in and investigated for the family, for the parents when they were there, and the fact that they talk about what they found, and then they talk about Ed and Lorraine Warren and why they came into it. Like, it's a fascinating, it's a really good documentary. It gives anyone who isn't really familiar with what went on there can watch that, and you cover all the bases. And then they see your investigation and what you found. And I'm not giving any spoilers, but I can say that I enjoyed it, watched it twice, and I'd probably watch it again. So it's really worth watching, guys. And so anything else you want to spruik or talk about, or anything else you'd like people to be aware of? Or
Just
we covered it
subscribe.
all?
Just subscribe to Devil's Hour Productions. The next trailer will be released on there for the next documentary. Other episodes, I still do vlogs. I started doing vlogs because since I haven't been capturing things at some places, I can still make a vlog out of it. So it's not a wasted money trip, basically. So you get to see the behind the scenes, some of the funny moments, and all that you can see in a vlog. So they're called MB vlogs, which is just Matt Benton vlogs. So I just do MB vlogs for short. So you get to see behind the scenes what it's like, just in case if I don't get anything. So you still get to see a little bit into our lives, which I think is kind of cool. I'm going to vlog a bit for this next film too, but I'm not going to release it until the film is out. So
absolutely,
yeah. So I'm excited. A lot of big projects. Devil's Out Productions on YouTube. Also, if you want to follow my Instagram, which I do post there a lot too, it's called Real Matt Benton. That's it. It's
Real Matt Benton.
Yes.
Yep. All one word. Yeah.
One word.
Oh, well, I want to thank you for doing this, Matt. Thanks for taking the time out, because you don't get much time off, and you've spent some time with me today talking about this. So that's really good. And people, please go and look at his channel, because it really is good. And as he said, he hasn't got a lot of videos up there, like episodes. And that's because, as he's pointed out, when people go in to do an investigation, it's not like you see when some of the people on YouTube, a chair flew across the room, and cups and saucers flew out the cupboard, and shadow people shut the door and the door opened. And it's not like that on an investigation. If it were, Matt would probably have 1 million episodes, but it's just
I
not
know.
like.
I would love to. I wish it was that active.
It would be. But yeah, if that's the sort of thing you want to watch, then you really do need to go to creators that fake. They do it for entertainment, like they do it because they want you to think it's real. It's not real, because if it was, they'd be world famous anyway for finding that sort of. It's just not real. So Matt's real, along with a lot of other people that you'll see on my little 5 haunting questions. I won't talk to anyone if I think they're faked. Matt does not fake. Joe does not fake. Cassie does not fake, and so on and so on. So if you want real content, go to Matt's channel, have a look at what he's got, and yes, sometimes it could be boring to watch because there aren't there's no cups and saucers flying around, but that's what an investigation is like when you're there doing it. It's I don't know. It's just
one thing I would like to say. I also live stream my entire editing process on Patreon and YouTube members. So for those people that want to see me edit entire film or edit entire episode, that you can literally watch me do it. And the reason why I do that, because I am completely transparent with my work. So if anyone has questions, I'll be like, here, this is how I did the editing. So there's literally no fakery, and this is how. And also, I can send you the raw footage if you want me to. So it's like there's 100% transparency with my work. So go try that with go try that with Omar Gosh or something like that. That he's not going to do it.
Oh, you can't because there's yeah. I won't go into that. That'd be a whole other hour of talking about stuff. But look, people, please, as I said, go have a look at Matt's channel. Check out the Harrisville Haunting documentary. It's won awards, and it really, I do recommend it. And Matt, again, thank you, and I will see you again. And thanks, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
I don't